Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with another video on Pandas tutorial, and in this video I'll be talking about two functions, loc and iloc, and I'll be telling you about how to use them on a data frame and what is the difference between these two. But before moving forward, those who are new in the field of data science and want to learn more, please do check out my videos on getting started with machine learning in the above link. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so I have created a data frame df using numpy random function, and the indexes which I have used is dates, which I have created using date range function, and the dates lies between 15 to 20. So these are my dates, and the columns are A, B, C, and D. So my data looks like this. So I have 6 rows and 4 columns. So let us see how we can apply these two functions on this data frame. So the first one is dataframe.loc, which is basically my selection by label. To access a group of rows and columns by labels or boolean array, we use this function. So remember guys, whenever you want to fetch our data or select our data by some sort of labels, we have to use function dataframe.loc, right? Okay, so let us look at the data frame which I have created. We have two type of labels, as we can see. First one is the columns A, B, C, and D. Others are my indexes, right? So each index, which is basically my date here, is a label. So I will be accessing my data frame values or selecting my data based on these labels using .iloc function. Okay, so if I want to fetch, let's say, all the data points on this particular date, what I can do is I can simply go and write this index label inside the function, and I'll get my desired results. There is another way to write this command. So instead of mentioning date like this, which is basically my 20th of January 2018, I can mention using index value. So dates of 5 basically is my 20th of January. So if I run this, I'll get the same set of values as above. You can also fetch data on some selected columns by mentioning the column names inside the same log function like this. You can mention the column names in a array along with the index, and you'll get the results from those selected columns A and B. Similarly, you can also mention multiple indexes and columns. So if I want data from 16th and 20th of January from A and B, I can give a command like this. I'll get my desired result. You can also slice data using .loc functions. So for slicing, I need to mention colon in between the dates as well as my column names. So here I've sliced my data from indexes, basically my dates from first index to fourth index, and my column from A to C, right? So this is how my data looks. Similarly, if I want to fetch a single value, let's say if I want to fetch value at column A on the first index position, I'll give a command like this and I get single value. This command can also be written in another way like this, where I mention my column name with my data frame. So I write df, and then in square bracket I mention my column first, and then I apply my log function, and within log function I apply my index label. Again I get the same result. So this is how you can use .log functions on pandas data frames. So next comes my data frame.iloc function. So remember guys, whenever we want to select data via the position of past integers, we use this function, which is basically my selection by position, right? So this is my data frame, and if I simply give data frame.iloc3, it will return me all the values, basically 0, 1, 2 and 3 from all the 4 columns. Just like my log function, I have given both the index and column positions over here. So 3 to 5 is basically my index values or my index numbers, right? So 3 to 5 is my index numbers, and 0 to 2 is my indexes for columns. So I'll be getting this particular selected data. Similarly, we can use selected indexes and columns in an array to select the data. So here I have given 1, 2 and 4th index, and in columns I have given 0 and 2, which is basically my A and C column, and I get my result. If I want to fetch a single value from a data frame using iloc, I can use function df and then in square bracket my column name and then function dot iloc and the index position, so I get my result. These two functions can be little confusing in the beginning, but you have to practice more in order to get the gist of it. Just remember that if you want to deal with labels in your data frame, then you have to use function .lock, and whenever you are dealing with index numbers, integer values, at that time you have to use .iloc. So these two things you have to remember, and just keep practicing it. So I think that's all for this video. Keep learning, keep growing.